Welcome back, one and all, to The Horror Returns. It's the greatest show on earth. Say it three times and Brian appears. But thanks for listening. Glad you guys are tuned in. Brian and Philip, what's up with you guys, man?
Oh, not much.
Yeah. Same old, same
Same
old.
shit.
Yeah.
Same shit, different day, as y'all say, huh?
Yo,
Getting ready for whatever hurricane's coming through next.
Oh yeah, you
Well,
guys have one right there.
it looks like it may hit you more than me though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Let me look at the map here.
Or like
Uh,
mostly Louisiana, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of headed that way. But there's more stuff forming. Brian, do you guys get any hurricanes up there in Alaska?
no, I don't think so.
Not too many.
No, not in my lifetime.
All right.
Just earthquakes.
Well, any
Yeah, earthquakes.
Oh fuck, man. All right. Y'all don't get wildfires, do you, Brian?
There's been a few, but not like in California or anything like that.
From time to time, huh? Nothing like California, Nevada, all that shit where they're like
Yeah,
constantly on fire 3 months out of the year.
but it's usually the same shit. Some asshole threw a cigarette into something, and
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
where's Smokey the Bear when you need him?
I'm telling you.
All right. In case you guys are wondering, this is The Horror Returns. I'm Lance. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Brian and Philip. And we don't always talk about hurricanes. We usually talk about horror movies. And Halloween right around the corner, guys. Got plans for what you're going to do? Given it any thought, or going to watch like a 31 Days of Horror, anything like that, Philip?
Not at all.
No?
No,
You
I
gonna
don't
watch
know.
Christmas movies all October?
Well, I'm sure I'll watch some horror movies and stuff. I don't know if the kids are too old to be trick or treating. My son is he'll be 14 by the time Halloween rolls around. So
He's not too old. He's not too old.
he's not too old, but he might want to go with his friends.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Maybe we'll do that. Or hit up a haunted house or something.
Yeah, very good chance. We're going to Universal a couple of times. We got our awesome Horror Returns T-shirts that Steve created. So we've got like seven different
Yeah.
shirts, 4 different designs. Fuck yeah, man!
I
Love
found
that
it.
logo, man. Nice. Yeah, we're kind of getting away from the original skull artwork by Not Solani, but it's still there. So maybe we can reach out to our friend Jay and see if she can hook us up with some more designs.
Yeah.
Although Steve Carlton is really taking care of us. That's Carlton from the Geeks, and I was listening to them. Brian, did you listen to pretty much every episode, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen to last week, so
Did you catch the comedy, like Sweet 16 of comedy or whatever it was, where they got down to like the 40-year-old virgin and one other movie?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily like the bracket.
That's kind of a weird bracket, wasn't it?
I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I felt like there was some movies missing.
Yeah. Philip? What's your favorite comedy of all time?
Favorite comedy of all time. That's tough, man.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
I'm a big fan of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Goldmember. I can quote like both movies in their entirety. But that's more of a personal thing. Are they the best comedies of all time? Probably not, but I love them.
They're pretty good, man. I think that's what Brian was getting at. Neither one of those was on the bracket, right, Brian?
Yeah, it felt like whoever made the bracket put their personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. They had a couple of Adam McKay movies on there, but I think maybe like one Farrelly Brothers movie.
Yeah, I think that was my problem with the bracket. It all seemed to be in like one time period of movies coming out.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, the mid 90s, early 2000s period, probably.
Well, that's kind of when the last great comedies came out, man.
There was one that came out not too long. Oh, never mind. It wasn't a comedy. I'm thinking about The Roast of Tom Brady.
Oh.
That was a comedy in and of itself. But yeah, you're right. Not too much coming out that's great, you know. And then McKay's doing like serious stuff now. So what are you gonna do? You know, even Jordan Peele is doing like, you know, heavy duty horror movies now.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to all the comedy, man? Come on.
Well, you can't make those jokes anymore. Go back and watch one. You'll go, oh wow, I can't believe they said that.
Yeah, but you'll believe it because it's there forever, right?
Yep.
To listen to over and over again. So, cool of the week, Brian. What you got, man?
I have 3 movies this week. Going light on the horror because I'm stacking up my list for 31.
Got some comedies to throw at us, Brian?
I got a couple action films, and I got one horror because I had to check it out, but I'll wait for that one. Talk about that one last. The first one I'll talk about is Jeremy. I'm probably going to pronounce his last name Saulnier. He did Green Room and Blue Ruin.
Mm-hmm.
He has a new Netflix movie called Rebel Ridge.
I've heard of this. I heard this is pretty good, man.
It's essentially First Blood, where except a drifter, you got the guy. He's not a drifter. He has a purpose for coming into the town, and instead of asshole cops, you got corrupt, dirty ones in a small town.
Wow, never heard of that twist before in a movie.
And Don Johnson is the sheriff.
Oh God, that's great, man. That's fucking
who's
great.
the drifter?
He's a new actor. Well, he's new to me. I think.
Okay.
Aaron Pierre. He looks like one of those guys. Like he looks familiar.
Yeah.
Kind of like that's that guy. He was in that movie. Yeah.
Not necessarily like I've seen him in a lot, but he looks familiar. He might look like somebody else I'm thinking of, but he did a pretty decent job. And my only problem is it took a while to get to the action. It was a lot of build up.
Okay. Kind of slow getting going.
Yeah. But once the police find out what his job was in the military, then the action starts to ramp up after that.
Brian, he was mid-sized sedan in M. Night's Old.
That's right. He sure was.
You remember that one, Philip?
Mid-sized sedan?
Mid-sized sedan.
Greatest character name ever.
Oh, that was his
M. Night movie. Yeah, his character was a rapper, and his name was Mid-sized Sedan.
That's the guy. I was trying to think, what the fuck has this guy been in?
So instead of little whatever or big whatever, he's mid-sized sedan.
Mid-sized. You got it, man.
Yeah, he did a pretty decent job in the movie. I would say. Yeah, well,
violent action, right?
Yeah, well, if you've seen Jeremy's, I swear I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, it's fun to say.
Saulnier?
Yeah. If you've seen Green Room and Blue Ruin, those are violent movies. And then he had another one with can't think of his name. He was in Westworld.
Somebody from this movie?
No, another movie.
Oh.
I can't think of it, but it was another Netflix movie, and that one had some violent moments in it. So he does good action, but you gotta sit through the movie for a good minute to build up the story before you get to that. It's not just straight action through the movie.
Yeah, with the way he names his movies, I'm surprised they didn't call this one like, you know, Red Ridge or something like that, you know? Get all the primary colors represented there.
Yeah, he was on a roll for a minute. Green Room, Blue Ruin.
Blue Ruin, right.
Let's see, what else did I check out? I checked out a new action movie from India called Kill.
I've heard of this one.
Indian action.
I've heard of this one. Yeah. Gotta have a dance number in the middle, Philip.
Yeah, I wanted to check it out because not sure. It just came out a few months ago, and it's already getting an American remake.
Oh boy!
So I figured I'd check out this one. It's essentially the Raid and John Wick on a train.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ, man. Okay.
Do they do the crazy Indian action stuff?
No, it's straight John Wick Raid style.
All right. Well, that's cool. Okay. Not what I expected, but it's cool.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about it, Brian.
Yeah, it's fun. It is subtitled, so you do have to do some reading, but it's not too hard to follow. The story is not too deep. He's on the train for a reason, and once you find out the reason, it goes from there. And he kicks a lot of ass. He has a partner with him that kicks some ass too, but it's mostly focused on him, and he kind of works his way through a lot of bad guys. And
that's what happens when you run out of bubble gum.
Yeah, not. I think there was only one gun used throughout the entire movie. It was mostly like knives and machetes and mallets and stuff like that.
Well, that's cool.
How'd they get a mallet on a train?
You gotta watch the movie. It was one of those small ones.
Oh, okay.
Not a croquet mallet.
Like a fucking Looney Tunes mallet.
So I also recommend that one. But my cool of the week is a movie that I've been hearing a lot about. It's a YouTuber made a found footage horror movie called Milk and Cereal. And cereal spelled like serial killer.
Oh.
Okay.
Really fucking good movie. And I think Matt Woods commented on it when I posted I was watching it, and he said the guy's budget for the movie was only $800.
Oh wow,
that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
And the main character is a YouTuber, so there's your reason for the camera always being on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you follow basically this guy Milk. It's on his birthday party. Not trying to give too much away. They do a prank on him, and then the prank kind of goes another direction, and you got your found footage horror movie. And I was really impressed.
All right.
And it's I think it's only an hour long.
Okay, that doesn't overstay its welcome. And is it full found footage, Brian, or do they like switch filming styles?
Found footage all the way through.
Yeah, well, with an $800 budget, that makes sense.
Yeah, once you find out what the character does, it makes sense. Okay. So, 3 recommendations right there, but my cool of the week will be Milk and Cereal.
Milk and Cereal. A lot of people are posting that right now, Philip. We got to check it out.
Yeah. I actually do have a YouTube cool of the week because I haven't been watching much except, well, okay, so I'll give one of them to football because it's back, so that was fun.
Of course.
And then my other one is it's called the Ultimate Self Defense Championship. I ran across it on YouTube.
3 times fast.
Yeah, USDC or whatever. It's like they got these YouTube fighters together from all these different like martial arts backgrounds. And they run them through all these tests, and they're sort of trying to see which fighting style is best, but it kind of turns into an endurance thing. But they gear them all up, and they just started the second season of it. The first season's full out there on YouTube, and they just started the second season. They've got 1 episode, and their challenge so far was teaming up, hiding in this building. And then they send like 4 dudes in there looking for them, and they have they have like these like a knife but with markers on the end. Yeah. So they're trying to stab them, and their goal is to get out of the building and get to the getaway car before they get killed. and
That's
they all
pretty
died.
cool.
They all died. Yeah,
Allegedly, right?
a fun fact we learned on the last season was it doesn't matter how talented you are. If you're going up against a guy with a knife, you're probably gonna die. Like there's no knife self-defense shit doesn't work at all.
Man. Well, that's kind of
so it's like YouTubers that have like fighting and martial arts channels or something.
Yeah, like there's a guy in there who
is his name Viking Samurai? Is that guy on there?
I don't think he's on there.
That guy loves him some Steven Seagal.
One of the dudes from this season actually he was saying because he armbarred this guy and he was like, it's a move that Steven Seagal taught me, and then it clips over to him like with Steven Seagal doing it, and he's like, I'm just kidding, I knew it before I went there. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. I was pretty impressed by the production value, and they just like stick all these guys in a house together for a week and run through all these tests and beat them up.
And usually big advantage if you have a knife, huh?
Yeah, apparently so, because none of them have gotten away from a knife guy yet, I don't think. But I mean, the guy with the knife, like the guys that they're fighting, also know what they're doing, and so they come at him just stabbing, you know?
Yeah.
Like prison yard stuff.
Knowing what they're doing, shanking them, huh?
Pretty much.
As long as they don't run up against anyone with a gun that's about 10 feet away, they're okay, right?
That's true.
Otherwise, they're fucked. Remember Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
All the sword play.
21 feet seems to be the rule, but
we'll
see.
Okay.
I'll take a shot in the gut before I'll take a knife in the gut before I take a bullet.
Oh, yeah. Easier to stitch up usually, right? Is that your cool of the week? That's
my cool of the week, man. That's all I got.
All right. What's it called again?
Ultimate Self-Defense Championship.
All right. And you say this is free on YouTube?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Well, we'll do a commentary or something, since we never finished doing all of our Tales from the Crypt stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Whoops.
Oh man, I got to lead with not so cool of the week, Brian.
Okay.
You guys didn't hate it, which kind of surprises me. What the fuck has happened to M. Night? This movie Trap? Are you kidding me? What'd you guys give it, like 7 or something?
I think we gave it like 5s.
5s? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's pretty mid.
I'll give it
I don't remember me and Phil loving it either.
Man, people were, and you know what? I think I drank the Kool-Aid when I saw Old, and I kind of liked the concept, so I forgave some really, really shitty dialogue, but oh my God, M. Night's dialogue has just gotten horrible. Like these scenes with his daughter, where she's just like, looking off stage, like you can tell she's reading cue cards. And then this guy, how does he get away from all this stuff? It's like he disappears into a fucking abandoned car, and there's literally 30 cops around him and a SWAT team. And they open the door, and they're like, he's gone. What, did he have a trap door under the car or what? What the fuck is going on with this dude, man?
That's a good point.
It's ridiculous. Oh, man, this is rough. At least the music was good, right? M. Night's daughter belted him out. I don't know.
She's cutie.
Man.
I'll give her that.
Yeah, that's a bad movie. Kind of like the Indian Ariana Grande. She reminded me of a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess that makes sense. She did have that kind of look to her.
Oh, man. That was rough. You guys like Jeff Goldblum? Are y'all Jeff Goldblum fans?
Oh, yeah, dude.
So he's great. Isn't he good in, like, the Marvel movies and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
He's always, like, a weird leader type guy. What did you think, Brian?
In the Marvel movie?
Yeah. Remember he was in...
he's only in one.
One with Thor and Hulk. I thought he showed up in another one.
He may have made a small appearance in another
cameo,
one.
Maybe. Gotcha.
Yeah, he was good, and he was very Willy Wonka-esque.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, pretty.
That sort of works for him.
Oh man, could you guys imagine him playing Zeus, like the Greek god Zeus? You think he could pull it off?
Better than Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe was pretty goddamn good, man.
I like this Zeus. Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right. Well, my cool of the week, I'm sticking with Netflix, Brian. This eight episode series. I don't know if they're going to do any more, if it was self-contained, but you guys heard of Chaos? Kaos?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it's about.
No.
Oh man, it's a trip, dude. It's like every year Netflix gives me something really good. So this is it for me. Yeah, once a year. Like it was always the oh man, what was the one with the vampires in it? It was the
Mike
pastor.
Flanagan.
Yeah, all the Flanagan stuff. Oh yeah, House of Usher was last year, right? And then the year before that was the vampire stuff.
Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass. That's the one I was trying to think of. So I guess Flanagan's left Netflix, but yeah, this is a trip, and it's like a retelling of Greek mythology. So you got like all the characters from the Greek myths, like Poseidon.
Oh, okay.
And you've got like Ares and the different characters like that, the gods and the demigods and stuff like that. But
Jeff Goldblum's narrating.
He's Goldblum actually plays Zeus.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't do the narrating. The narrating is done by a different character. I don't want to give too much away. But like if you know anything at all about Greek mythology, you'll kind of recognize the storylines. But it's set kind of in the present, but it's sort of everything's got kind of a retro look. Like they've got like old, landline telephones that they're using and fax machines and stuff like that. But it's definitely interesting. Brian, I thought for a minute they were going to go into a musical in the first episode, and you'll be happy to know they don't.
Okay.
So it passes that test for you. It's really violent, man. A lot of blood and gore, a lot of fight scenes and stuff like that, which you would expect in ancient Greece, right?
Picture Jeff Goldblum as Zeus.
he's a douchebag. He's a douchebag Zeus, if you can imagine that. Like he's out there swinging the golf club and like shooting it at tennis ball boys that are serving him and stuff like that. It's just like, hey, I'm Zeus. I can do whatever I want. It's pretty interesting. I don't want to give too much away. The storyline is like, I guess it's similar to Greek mythology, but they kind of go in their own direction. So it's like a lot of British talent is in it. Like you guys familiar with David Thewlis, British actor? You would know. He's done a lot of Shakespeare stuff and like.
I really don't know him now.
He's been in some Harry Potter and things like that. He plays Hades, and the guy that was in I think he's in Fear the Walking Dead. Is his name Cliff Curtis? Does that ring a bell, Brian?
Oh, that guy's in everything.
Yeah, he plays Poseidon. So it's kind of a mixed bag of character actors, but for only 8 episodes, they average about 50 minutes an episode, not quite an hour. So it's probably about 7 hours. But AJ and I binged it in a couple of nights. I recommend it. Check it out if you like Greek mythology, or if you just want to see something that's like totally whacked out weird.
They should do one where they do like Greek mythology, but they're actually aliens, and like Mount Olympus is their mothership or something.
That would be fucking great. That might be season 2, Philip. I think you might have just called season 2.
Like, how come nobody's made this show yet?
Somebody's got to. They're doing everything else, so why not? But yeah, that's cool of the week, Brian. We got any headlines to talk about this week?
Yeah, we got some. We're going to start with one of your favorite franchises, the Twilight franchise.
Okay, yeah, sure. Don't tell me they're doing another one.
Netflix has announced a new Twilight animated series titled Midnight Sun.
Whoa. Why are you doing that? They got to have that demon baby.
Oh, my God. You guys ever heard, or Brian, you probably might have, you ever listened to the Midnight Horror Show podcast when that was going regularly? Remember when they used to call it Taint Light?
Yeah.
So is it Taint Light, the animated series, Philip, or what? What are we getting here? What are we getting here, man? Come on. The fuck is this?
I don't know who okayed this. I'm pretty sure everybody's
terrible,
done with,
man.
Pretty sure everybody's done with Twilight.
Oh my god.
Okayed it.
Are they doing the Edward Cullen actor doing his voice? Because I think he's gonna be busy with Batman stuff, right?
I don't think he's coming back.
Okay.
They've got some 35-year-old nerd lady in there who just cannot get past the series. Who's like, we need to do this animated.
Oy vey. I heard Dane DeHaan's available. Yeah, maybe he'll play Cullen.
100% sure he's available.
Well, he kind of looks like a vampire anyway.
Kind of, right?
And he can get all the rest he can. He's just got to do voice work.
Yeah.
Take naps.
Right.
All right.
Should a little heroin come back on stage or come back to the microphone?
Let's see. Dan Stevens is going to star alongside Al Pacino in a new exorcism movie titled The Ritual.
Al Pacino. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
That sounds great, man.
Please, somebody.
Let's see. Are you guys familiar with the Ice Cream Man comic book series?
No.
I'm familiar with the movies with Richie Cunningham's brother in it, right?
Oh, this has nothing to do with that. It's
okay.
Loosely connected anthology horror comic series.
Huh. Never heard of it.
Well, it's getting a movie adaptation, and the writers of Beetlejuice, Alfred Go and Miles Millar are going to be writing it or adapting it for a movie.
Okay. They write a lot of stuff. Did they? They've done a lot of TV work too, haven't they, Brian? Like,
yeah.
Did they do the Arrow series and stuff like that, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think they have. I think they've done a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very, from what I understand, very popular comic book series. So.
Ice Cream Man, huh?
Yeah. Let's see. Got a couple more things here. My least favorite actress and one of your favorite actresses, Keke Palmer, set to star in a series adaptation of Joe Dante's The Burbs.
Nice. I'm all about it, man. Yes.
Breaking my rule. This sounds like trash.
Uh-oh. Don't prejudge it, Brian. You got to give it a chance. Come on.
Well, it's got Keke Palmer in it. She's going to be super extra with everything she does in the series.
Well,
you can count on it.
Yeah, she definitely does that.
You can count on it.
And finally, we get a release date for Salem's Lot, October 3rd.
It really does
on
exist.
Max. Yep. Streaming straight to Max October 3rd.
Doesn't sound awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've already done a movie and a sequel and a TV series, right? So what are they gonna do from here?
That was 79.
Okay. Well, I guess we're about due.
I don't have the cast on hand, but I remember the cast looked pretty impressive. So
David Soul. Who else?
You're gonna make me look it up now.
Hey, David Soul was in the original. Is he still alive? I don't know.
I don't know.
Who was the guy who played Aquaman? Guys, help me out here.
Jason
the new
Momoa?
Aquaman. Jason Momoa to be the vampire. Why not? A flamboyant vampire.
Lewis.
I saw him in something. What did I see Jason Momoa in the other day? He was in a trailer. I think before Beetlejuice.
Minecraft.
Yeah, that's right.
Philip's gonna be there on opening day.
I kind of want to watch it. It's Jason Momoa, Jack Black.
Jack Black, right?
Yeah, you kind of had me sold at Jason Momoa and Jack Black, but I haven't actually seen the trailer for it. But just looking at the pictures, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
your kids are gonna love it.
I know nothing about Minecraft, and my daughter was just kind of like, "What is happening right now?"
Yeah.
Well, they waited 2 years too long for one thing, right? I mean, Minecraft was huge. Is it still huge?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
let's see. Salem's Lot
for little kids.
Written and directed by Gary Dauberman, who's worked on Annabelle Comes Home, It Chapter 2. He wrote.
Huh. Okay.
He wrote both It movies, and this stars Lewis Pullman, Alfre Woodard, William Sadler.
I mean,
the guy, the guy from Game of Thrones, the Greyjoy, the uncle.
Oh, the old man.
The one that backstabbed.
Not Charles Dance.
The one that tried to take over the.
Yeah, the weird one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they were all kind of weird.
One.
But right? He just like popped up at the end like some crazy fucking pirate.
Yeah, that guy.
That's a guy.
Crazy pirate. That's the best way to put him. He's in the movie. So cast is not bad. It is produced by James Wan.
Oh, wow. In that case.
Produced.
All right.
I'll watch it. I mean, it's a good movie to have a remake of. But it's not a good sign that they've been jacking it around this long and then just stick it on Showtime.
Well, it's Warner Brothers. Well, it's on Max.
Yeah.
It's Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers doesn't necessarily seem to know what they're doing most of the time.
It seems that way.
All right, that's the news.
All right. What's next? Trailers?
Yeah, did Lance leave us?
I think Lance left us. His dog was barking.
Okay.
Let's go on down to the trailer park.
All right. First trailer we're going to talk about is the Rosemary's Baby prequel, Apartment 7A.
Is that what this is?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Starring Julia Garner and Diane Wiest. Is it Diane Wiest?
Is it Wiest or West?
It's got an I in it.
Does it?
Yeah, IEST.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know, but I know who she is.
Yeah. She'll always be the mom from The Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, I know she's an Academy Award-winning actress, but she's always going to be the mom from Lost Boys.
Oh, it does have an I in it. Diane Wiest? I don't know.
What you think of Apartment 7A?
I thought it looked very Rosemary's Baby-ish. I kind of wasn't super duper interested while I was watching it until it gets towards the end of the trailer, and then I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe there is a cool angle to this if they're gonna go that route. At first, I thought it was just weird old people tormenting this girl. I was like, I kind of don't give a shit. But I'm down. I'll watch it.
What you think, Lance? Apartment 7A.
Oh, yeah, the prequel to Rosemary's Baby. Well, see, okay, I got a funny story. So AJ was watching. It's going to come on Paramount, right? Direct to Paramount?
Or
yeah, AJ was watching.
Other means.
She was watching the trailer, and she's like, hey, have you heard about this Apartment 7A? This looks really cool. And then you get kind of toward the end of it, and that demon shows up between her legs that's rising up or whatever. And she's like, what is this? I said, it's the prequel to Rosemary's Baby. And she stopped the trailer. She said, no, I'm out. As you guys know, anything having to do with demons or demonology, AJ's like way out. So
those are my favorite ones, man.
No.
That's too bad because it sounds like the trailer caught her attention.
It did catch your attention. It looks like it's for women a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
That's
it's kind of
what I
like
was
that
thinking.
Lifetime movie.
At the
look.
beginning of the trailer, I was like, "Man, why do I want to watch this?" And then the demons pop up, and I'm like, "Oh, well, okay."
Is this the character that dies in the beginning of Rosemary's Baby?
Oh, I forgot about that.
You mean like the old lady, Diane Wiest?
Yeah, she is. I didn't even recognize her because she's
creepy.
Got creepy. She's doing an accent, and then when it flashed her name, I was like, oh, that is her.
Yeah, and then you got Ruth from Ozark, and I think she's in the next trailer we're going to talk about too. If I think I caught a glimpse of her.
That is. It didn't even click.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'll watch it just to be a completist, but I'm not like super sold on it.
Yeah, I was expecting a little more when I heard about they were doing this movie, but I do like the cast. Only problem with the prequels, you already know where it's going at the end.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, kind of like the what was it, the first Omen or whatever, you know?
Yeah, but like, I am curious about what happened to this girl that they talked about.
Right.
In Rosemary's Baby, because I think the last time when we talked about it for the show, I think this is the last time I've seen it. So I just remember I just remember they were talking about her, and I was curious about her story. So,
speaking of Tim Burton and Winona Ryder, she was in Edward Scissorhands. Diane Wiest, whatever.
Oh, that's right.
She was the mom.
Much younger.
Yeah,
much younger. Quirky, very quirky.
She brings him
there you
home.
Go.
As you do when you find a guy with scissor hands.
With scissors.
You bring him home to the family.
And a pure haircut.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
All right. Apartment 7A is coming to Paramount Plus September 27th.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll work it into the 31 days or something.
All right. And continuing with our Julia Garner week here of trailers. Lee Whannell's Wolfman, of course, starring Julia Garner and Christopher Abbott. Last time we seen Christopher Abbott on the show, it was for Possessor.
I remember that.
He is actually replacing Ryan Gosling. Was originally in the movie, but he had to drop out.
Okay, talk about a big dip in star power. Holy shit, dude!
But I think he's still a producer on it.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like going from losing Nicolas Cage and settling for Dane DeHaan or something, Brian.
I mean, I guess I'm not the biggest Ryan Gosling fan. Well,
yeah,
I'm not a big Ryan Gosling fan, so it's not a big drop to me.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
what'd you guys think of Wolfman?
I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the universe, aren't you, Philip?
Yeah, I thought the trailer looked pretty good, actually. I was kind of impressed with it. I was like, oh, this is like what Wolfman was supposed to be, maybe.
And Lee Whannell, he did The Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and that was good. So. Yeah, I was kind of worried. I saw the poster for it, Brian, and I thought it looked kind of young adult. Like, is the kid going to be the Wolfman?
Right.
I mean, really? Like a fucking 12-year-old kid, but I like what they're doing.
It kind of looks like Christopher Abbott's character is the Wolfman.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Or he doesn't know that he's the Wolfman because he's talking about he needs to protect his family, and maybe he doesn't know he's changing.
I can see that.
We're going to have a wolf out moment.
Getting wolfy with it.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big selling point is the transformation.
Yeah.
That's always, that's what tells the difference between a good werewolf movie and a bad one, right?
So you think they're going practical or CGI?
We can hope.
It's got to be practical, right?
No, it doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be.
I guess that's true.
It is Blumhouse, isn't it? Or no, it's straight up Universal, right?
It's both.
Oh, okay, well.
But I'm just saying, what we've seen with like Lee Winnell, what else has he done? He's written the Saw movies. He's directed the movie Upgrade.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
So I think it's going to be mostly practical with some CGI mixed in.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't completely cover it, because I just seen what was that movie we reviewed? Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
The big tall alien that she gives birth to at the end. That was all practical. But they
really?
put so much CGI on top of it.
Why would they do that, man? That's like the Thing prequel they did.
Well, because I seen a behind the scenes video on YouTube, and the guy that is in the prosthetics and makeup is a former basketball player. He's like actually that tall.
Oh, okay.
And it looked cool to me, the way he looked.
Yeah.
But then when you see it on screen, you just they've added so much CGI to it.
They overdid it.
And one of the things I don't think that we talked about when we did that movie was the CGI of the android guy, where they put that actor's face on there, and it looked awful.
I don't think they. I don't honestly now thinking back to it. I don't think they needed to.
It didn't even need to look like this. It wasn't the same android. It didn't need to look like the same android.
No,
why not just put somebody else on there?
Okay, I didn't have a huge problem with it because it was an android and not a human. So if it goes a little bit Uncanny Valley looking, I'm not too mad at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get like they should have. I know that we're not talking about Wolfman, but I know that maybe they should have got like Michael Biehn or somebody,
or Mr. Bean.
If I have an android, I want him to look like Mr. Bean. That sounds amazing.
You know, my daughter thought that was his real name.
Did she?
Is it not?
Rowan Atkinson.
I was like, it's changed. I was like, it's Rowan Atkinson. She was like, he has a name,
right?
Actually, that's not true. If I have an android, I want it to look like Jessica Alba, but that's a different story.
Yeah, I get that. or a Salma Hayek about the time that the vampire movie came out.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Wolfman hits theaters January 17th.
Okay, I'm down. I like it.
Yeah.
I think I hope we see very little of the werewolf until the movie, which I feel like they'll hit us with a trailer revealing him the week before.
Yeah,
probably.
All right, listener feedback. This week we shine the podcast spotlight on Hellraisers. Hellraisers is a podcast co-hosted by horror-loving siblings.
Co-joested. Colin Jost.
I guess. Britt and Dylan. Britt has been giving Dylan horror movies to watch since they were kids, and now that their horror knowledge has expanded, they started a podcast. Cool.
All right.
Check them out. Hellraisers.
Hellraisers.
And
wish we had thought of it.
That's a good one. I was like, damn, Hellraisers is good. In regards to the new Crow, Stephen Loblad says, watch the newest trailer for the new one. Doesn't look too bad. Well, you're
insert Lance's review here.
In regards to Hellhole, Matt Wood says, I'll be watching this later. What is Hellhole?
The one I talked about a couple weeks ago with the parasite hiding in people.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Not bad.
Sounds gross, man.
And in regards to Tubi Tuesdays, Mike Batchelor says, brought to you by our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Use code Tubi Tuesdays to get a free Lois Lasser, Craven the Hunter. In regards to We Are Zombies, Matt Wood says, how was it?
It was decent.
Brian?
Good different take on the zombie genre.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In regards to Drum Dum's review of Cutting Class, David Bartis says, nice review. I enjoyed this one. You can always count on Tubi as a place to find hidden gems.
So true.
Is this the one with, it was like an early Brad Pitt movie from the 80s?
Oh, really?
I think he was in a slasher movie in the 80s.
Was he the slasher?
I haven't seen Cutting Class in like 20 years, so I don't even remember.
Brad Pitt, huh?
I doubt it, but it'd be fun if he is.
Could have been
I
Matthew
gotta look it up
with a robotic leg.
In regards to the Alien 3 poster, Lee Jones says, this is cool, never seen it before. Yeah, Alien 3 had some pretty cool artwork.
Yeah, I think so. And underrated movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so, yeah. I enjoyed it.
Well, it's better than some of those other Alien movies.
Yes, Brad Pitt was in Cutting Class.
Look at that.
There you go.
1989.
Good call.
There you have it, Brian. There you have it.
Look at the big brain on Brian.
Want a big kahuna burger
now. In regards to The Covenant, Michael Prazeris says, pretty cool story. I believe Sebastian Stan was pretty young.
I think he was. I think that came out early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
I'm starting to like Sebastian Stan, man. He's pretty good.
Have you guys seen the trailer where he's like disfigured?
No.
Like an A24 movie, and he gets like surgery, and he basically gets his face back. And there's another guy who has the same disfigurement as him, but he's like popular for the way he looks. Like people are like more sympathetic to.
That's a very twisted storyline.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say he gets Nicolas Cage's face.
No. We gotta wait for Face Off 2.
Faces off, Brian.
Faces Off. Two-Face.
They're gonna be like 75-year-old men.
Oh boy.
But it was an interesting trailer. I forgot what it's called. I know it's an A24 movie.
Okay. Interesting. In regards to Wolfman, Martin Redacteur Creative. I'm sorry, dude. I butchered your name. Come on.
Good job. Good job.
The 2010 movie was enough and very good.
I
mean, I like Benicio del Toro, but
this is a little overdone on the CGI.
Yeah, I'm not mad that they're redoing it. Of all the creature movies, I'm not mad that they're redoing this one. Let's see. In regards to the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, Ray Cannington says no. Just no. And I agree. All right. That's it for listener feedback. Our intro and new logos come from Steve Carlton from The Geeks. And be on the lookout for some more great stuff from him. And our original skull artwork, of course, comes from Natsulani. And if you'd like to help us out, please consider becoming a Patreon patron. We'll let you pick the movies for a future show at any amount. And for $5 or more, also pick a commentary for a future bonus show. And through the end of October only, we put a deadline on this.
Put a deadline on it. Okay, Halloween.
If you join the show, or if you join Patreon at the $5 tier and stay with us for at least 3 months, you get 6 koozies, a t-shirt, and a pop figurine of our choice. Because
it's the Brad Pitt from Cutting Class.
Yeah.
The one we're going to pick, right?
They should make one of those for sure. All right. On to featured attractions. We check out the brand new Crow remake and the original.
Oh no!
No, that's not right.
I left the old notes
Beetlejuice.
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 Damn it. Do
And
not
Beetlejuice
do that.
Beetlejuice.
Do not do that to us, Philip. Do not make
My
us
bad.
do that movie again.
All right, so we'll start with the original Beetlejuice instead of Beetlejuice. Oh shit. The spirits of a deceased couple are harassed by an unbearable family that has moved into their home and hire a malicious spirit to drive them out. Director, of course, is Tim Burton, also known for Dark Shadows and Corpse Bride and a litany of other stuff. Writers are Michael McDowell. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Larry Wilson and Warren Scarron. The studio wanted to call the film House Ghosts. As a joke, Tim Burton suggested the name Scared Sheetless and was horrified when the studio actually considered using it. Michael Keaton ad-libbed 90% of his lines.
Wow.
That makes a lot of sense.
It is prime. Brian, what'd you think about the original Beetlejuice?
Classic. This was one of those movies where I watched this a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
So many quotable lines. I got in trouble for doing the, what was it, nice fucking model, honk honk. Cast is amazing. Michael Keaton knocks it out the park. Reading that trivia that he ad-libbed 90% of his lines, I felt like this was Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
This wasn't somebody else writing the lines, and it shows.
Right.
I love the use of practical effects. I love the use of stop motion.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about that one in the next movie.
But it was very eerie and weird for that little time period when they do the stop motion stuff, you know?
Yeah, this is 100% Tim Burton.
Yes. Absolutely.
If anybody ever wanted to know what Tim Burton's style of filmmaking is, I would always tell them watch Beetlejuice.
And Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare. You can even say Edward Scissorhands, because that one was less horror, more fantasy, but still had that Tim Burton feel. Because that time period, he was just knocking it out the park.
Could do no wrong. And then he hired Johnny Depp, and things went downhill.
Yeah.
Well, Edward Scissorhands.
Well, true.
I mean,
a very young Johnny Depp, right?
I mean, what else did he have before? I mean, Dark Shadows was not good.
Yeah.
Right.
The one Sweeney Todd.
Not too bad.
That's not good because they're singing in it.
Yeah, that's true.
that's why I kind of liked it.
I don't know, man. Johnny Depp either nails it or he sucks.
Yeah,
you know?
Depends on whether he had his heroin fix for the day, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, it just seems like he just stopped doing these movies where he has to act, and it's more like he's just putting on a costume and
yes,
being weird on camera.
100%, Brian. 100%.
I mean, you would think that he at this point he probably has enough money that he can just do these lower budget movies where he's got to put in a performance, but instead he just gets a paycheck and puts on a costume and gets all wacky.
Grabs a sword and a bottle of rum and puts a monkey on his back, huh?
Makes him millions of dollars.
But yeah, the cast is great in here. Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, Catherine O'Hare, Winona Ryder. Gonna leave certain guy off of here.
Pedo Pete.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave Chester off of here.
He always looked like one too.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. It gives a whole new meaning to that scene where he's trying to sneak into the bathroom when the girl's taking a shower and Ferris Bueller, huh?
Yep.
Oh, with his little pedo stash.
Yeah.
But yeah, Beetlejuice is a classic. I mean, so many classic scenes. What is it? Harry Belafonte's song they use for the dinner scene. That's a classic scene.
Yeah, that was great.
And this was peak Winona Ryder.
Yes.
I got to bring that up for Nez because he is a Winona Ryder fan. This was like when she was at the top, when she was in everything, and
Yeah.
she played this role perfect. You know, the little sarcastic, little smartass, little goth girl, little emo chick.
This might
Perfect
be
for
my
the role.
favorite role from her.
You think?
I think so.
I could see that.
Yeah, I would have to agree. She did disappear for a minute, but then Stranger Things brought her back.
Yeah.
But yeah, Beetlejuice, classic movie.
All right, Lance.
Yeah, on this watching, I'd kind of forgotten a couple of scenes, like the scene at the beginning when they crash through the covered bridge there and land in the water, and I guess that's when they die. I'd kind of forgotten about that, and then
I always felt like they could have got out of that situation.
Yeah,
you would think so, dude. They were going like 10 miles an hour through like a wooden
10 miles
bridge?
per hour.
For real?
Felt like they had time to get out the car before it fell over, and I also felt like that water wasn't that deep.
Not really. No. Well, they say you can drown in like 1 foot of water, right? If your head gets submerged. So who knows? But that is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. I'd forgot about the scene where he comes on like a Joe Bob Briggs used car salesman type, where he's saying, "Hire me," and he's got that little rocking horse, that little horse. So he gets his cowboy gear going and his lasso.
I wonder if that was improvised.
I'm sure it was 100% ad lib. Don't you guys think? That was pretty cool. Yeah, there were a lot of little scenes in this that I was like, okay, these are kind of like little treasures that I hadn't noticed before. And then you got the one guy that's coming through that's, I guess, like her interior decorator. It gives her the spray paint. Otho, he gives her the spray paint can that they just put X's in the house. And I see this in mauve. Oh, no, this has to be, lime green or whatever.
Yeah, he was saying some colors I had never heard of.
That was a good scene. Yeah, there was a lot in this movie that, like, it's kind of like I was seeing it for the first time, because I'd seen it before, and I think, Brian, you said this was a rewatch for our show, huh? I wonder what we rated it the first time.
Yeah, I don't think we really rated it, because I think it was a kids' Halloween episode, so we didn't really talk about it.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So probably the kids talked about it more than us, but yeah, it's one of those movies that's kind of like, I don't want to give too much away about the new one, but I'll say that this one was very much of its time, but it kind of could have been made now, I think, or like any other time. And then they've got like some things that I thought they were going to answer in the sequel or come back to, like the Lost Souls, when they pull that shade down when they were in the underworld. Yeah. So those people are like that's where the dead go to die or something like that.
Yeah, the Room of Lost Souls.
Yeah, the Room of Lost Souls. So that I thought that was going to come back more than it did, but you've got some really quirky characters like the football players. Coach, I don't think we survived that crash. That's a famous line.
That waiting room was fantastic.
The waiting room is fantastic, man. It's a good movie. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and knowing that Michael Keaton ad-libbed 90% of it only makes me love it all the more.
Yeah. And I like the story in this one. It's very linear, and they give you the ghosts that you're following through. They're your protagonists, but they're like normal people. And the living people that move into their house are the fucking crazies, right? And so you're going at this movie through the angle of the normal ghosts navigating this whole new weird world with wild ass people in it.
And Catherine O'Hara is amazing in this.
Yeah, she's great in just about everything.
And I will take you with me. I felt like we already went there when we met your character.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. I love her. But yeah, man, this one is a classic for sure. And it's an every year watch for Halloween for me.
Yeah.
That's strong words.
Yeah, great movie, man. All right. Scores, Brian?
I have to give it a 10.
fuck.
I honestly, I couldn't tell you nothing bad about it. I mean,
nothing wrong.
I could deduct points for a certain chomo.
Yeah, but
But
man, he had a couple of roles that are pretty great.
I gotta
true.
separate art from artists,
Yeah.
I guess, situation. So
Right.
I can't take nothing away from that.
Hey, I still
So,
listen to Michael Jackson.
This isn't
but
Jeepers Creepers 6, right?
I don't think we'll ever review.
No, can't
I don't think
separate on
so.
that one, huh?
No, the fact that guy is still allowed to work.
Pretty rough.
Oh, I bet you if we knew more about Hollywood, nobody'd be in it.
Yeah, no doubt. Jeffrey Epstein was just the beginning, huh?
The tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, Beetlejuice, classic movie, quotable, great cast, classic scenes. So I have to give it a 10.
All right,
Yeah.
Lance.
I'll give it an 8. You know, I really enjoyed it. It's one that I want to see more often because, like I said, there was some stuff in it that I hadn't remembered. I love the effects, like when they were stretching their faces out to look scary.
Yes.
Got the beak going and the eyes, and they pull the eyes out and the fingers and all that. That was really original. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that in any other movie. So that's pretty cool. I like it, and I like the like little statues that. What is her name? Lydia, the one that Moira plays.
Oh, Delia.
Delia. Okay, I'm getting the names mixed up. I like her artwork. It's really kind of like super.
I like that it
surrealistic.
came alive at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, like dragging the brick behind it, the block and everything. That was definitely a good effect and a lot of stop motion. So yeah, I think 8 out of 10's a fair score. You know, it's definitely up there.
Although she strikes me as the kind of person that would make like a giant vagina sculpture or something, you know?
Yes, I bet she has.
We don't know. She might have already made one.
Yeah. Imagine that sucker coming to life.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, and I got a real quick shout out Robert Goulet.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
All right.
That was like my grandma's favorite back in the
very
day.
Suave.
So
very suave.
little Robert Goulet cameo in there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I love this movie. Michael Keaton killed it. Everybody pretty much killed it. It's to watch a movie from the 80s and it still holds up is pretty awesome. I think I'm going to give this one a 10.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
And this was peak 80s because they had stuff in there that wouldn't be a PG-13 movie now, like the horror house.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I remember that completely going over my head as a kid. But when I got a little bit older, I'm like,
Yeah. Did you ever see the cartoon?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I ever have.
So the whole series is on Tubi.
Oh, really? Okay.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It's not bad. It's like Lydia and Beetlejuice, and they're just kind of doing their thing while she's going to high school or whatever.
Is it kind of adult oriented or
no?
Very much really. For kids.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much for kids.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. On to the next one. Beetlejuice. Let's see. After a family tragedy, 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life has turned upside down when her teenage daughter Astrid, good name, accidentally opens a portal to the afterlife.
Was it a tragedy? More like a celebration.
Director
that wasn't his voice, I can tell you that, in the shark costume or that definitely wasn't his voice.
I'm really surprised they even used his picture.
I know.
They used his likeness a lot. Like they went overboard with it. Like posters, paintings, pictures.
Maybe they were just trying to give him some residuals or something.
I guess. Who knows? I guess.
Director, of course, is Tim Burton. Writers are Miles Myler, Alfred Goh, and Seth Graham-Smith.
There you go.
Tim Burton.
There's our guys.
Tim Burton said that this film would only be made if Michael Keaton would return to reprise his role. Keaton said in March of 2014 that this is the only sequel he's interested in doing. All right. I guess no Batman for Michael Keaton. They're not gonna do a multiverse with the
They already
Batman?
did.
Oh, that's
They
right.
already did.
Was he in that one? He wasn't in that one?
Yeah,
he was in the Flash.
I was gonna say, I think he popped up for a second, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's technically not a sequel. That's
I guess that's
cameo.
true.
Right.
Cameo. All right. All right.
Is what it was.
Brian, what'd you think about Beetlejuice?
I had a lot of fun with this one. It felt like coming back home.
Really?
You had a lot of the original cast in there, a lot of callbacks. Couple of extra little musical numbers was kind of a surprise to me that there was quite a few in here. Monica Bellucci, mwah, chef's kiss.
She can suck your soul out anytime, huh?
Yes, that's a good way to go.
Death by snooze, dude.
I liked all the little cameos in here. We can talk about one because it was already spoiled. Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, it's at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not spoiling much.
Interesting role for Jenna Ortega because it's not necessarily the way I thought her character was going to be. I thought she was I thought she was going to be pretty much a carbon copy of Winona Ryder's character from the first one, but she wasn't. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that.
Yeah, she almost played it kind of normal.
Yeah. Catherine O'Hara was great again. Michael Keaton. I did have problems though because they kind of said this was going to be all practicals, which I'm sure it was, but the added CGI parts
way too much.
Kind of a little too much for me. And we'll talk
and
about one where
some of the stop motion was CGI also.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there was it didn't hold up to the original stop motion that they used. But I don't make movies, so I don't know if it's like really a budget thing that they do the CGI. Maybe it's just way cheaper now to do it that way.
Yeah, they were like, we can spend a whole day jacking with this thing, or this guy can do it over here in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of lose some of the love though when you do that.
Couple characters in here I thought were going to show up. Kind of bummed they didn't show up, but I guess we got an explanation on where some of them are.
Okay.
But overall, I had a lot of fun with this one.
All right, Lance.
Man, I went into the theater and started watching the movie, and I don't know, you're getting to see the characters again, which is cool. But I started getting a little bit bored, like in the first part. I'm like, well, this thing needs to go somewhere. And then once you get to the point, there's a certain scene where there's a character on a bicycle, and I thought for sure that character was going to go to the afterlife because they were going to get run over or something like that.
Well,
and
they
then
did.
once that character meets up with someone else, to me, the movie kind of became like a roller coaster ride after that. And one of the best lines in the movie I thought was when I forgot who said it. Maybe you guys remember. They said, "Boy, this afterlife is really random." You guys catch that line?
that was her.
Okay, so that was I really
look. It's Saturn.
Okay, so I will say there was a little part that was a little bit, to me, I thought kind of easy for me to figure out what was going on with one character. I picked up on it the minute that character was kind of introduced. But other than that, there were so many weird, wacky, and crazy things. There were so many different storylines that were intertwining. Brian mentioned there were some musical numbers that I didn't expect to see. There were some just goofy, weird stuff that was going on. And you're not you're not on planet Earth. You're in a different dimension, so you can get away with a lot of weird stuff. So just like Brian, I had a blast with this movie. I was shocked with how much I enjoyed this. The CGI got a little hokey towards the end there. Whereas if it had been just kind of like that creepy, just straight, what do they call it? Motion capture or whatever.
Stop motion.
Stop motion. Yeah, stop motion. If it had been just stuck to that, I think it might have been a little creepier. And, maybe they could have added a little bit more shadowing or whatever, but that's really getting nitpicky. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Michael Keaton was back in full form. There was another character we met that was sort of like a police officer, or was this a police officer, that I got a blast out of that character. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I love the music. I love the intro when you're going through the city, and then you're showing the models, and then it shows, the actual town, and then you go through the models. Kind of like the beginning of Hereditary, where it's a dollhouse and then it goes out of the window and you're in a real room and then you're in a dollhouse again. Kind of like that, but I love the Elfman score because he took the original Beetlejuice score and he like jazzed it up, like added a lot of keyboards and electronic music and stuff to it. And I love that opening sequence. I love the end, what they did, kind of sort of after the credits, sort of not. Not like it's an extra scene or anything like that, but yeah, this was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to be as much fun as the first one, and I don't know if it holds up quite as well as the original, but everybody kind of gave it everything they had. You could tell they had a lot of fun making it, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I might be a little bit of the odd man out on this one, man. I thought it was a little
Somebody's got to be.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit boring. I didn't hate Michael Keaton. I liked him. He's bringing back his role, and he kind of nailed it. But like,
what do you think about Justin Theroux, the douchebag character?
I actually liked that character. I thought that was funny. Yeah. So I don't think he nailed it quite as good as he did in the original Beetlejuice.
Not as manic, maybe. Right?
Yeah, not as manic. Maybe it was just because he's like 70 something.
Right.
So he didn't quite have the same stuff behind him. Winona Ryder had this sort of like the same expression on her face through the whole movie. And it started getting on my nerves.
Maybe it was those pills.
Yeah.
Well, she was a little bit of a different character.
Yeah.
Because not really a spoiler, but Catherine O'Hara's character Delia kind of says, "I remember when you used to be this little smartass. I was always messing with me when you were younger. Why don't you go back to being that?"
Yeah, but she's got like this speech pattern thing that's like not. It's definitely not her best work. It's like, what happened to Winona Ryder, man?
Getting on your nerves a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, the mom was amazing. I loved her. She killed it through the whole movie. I thought that Monica Bellucci was in this, and she was great for what she did. But if you take her out of the movie, it doesn't change a fucking thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of storylines like that, right? A lot of weird.
It's kind of all over the place. There's a lot of different storylines going on, and none of them really make a whole lot of sense.
None of them have a lot of payout, right?
Right. None of them have a lot of they tried to do too much. And that's part of why I said that, the original Beetlejuice had such a linear storyline, and you're relating to this character and going through this wild and crazy world. And then now there's like all these characters left and right, and they're all popping up, and it's just, one scene to the next scene to the next scene, and they're all different, and it doesn't matter,
I kept expecting.
It's not a very coherent story.
I thought Captain Jack Sparrow was going to pop out at one point. I'll put it to you that way.
Wouldn't have surprised me a whole lot. Edward Scissorhands hanging out down there in the underworld.
Like a dead Captain Jack.
And we'll talk about some of the other cameos, I guess, and spoilers. But yeah, man, I was really looking forward to this, and I was a little bit disappointed.
See, I wasn't expecting much, and I had fun. So maybe that was the X factor.
That happens.
Yeah.
All right, scores, Brian. What do you
think? I'll probably end up rewatching this, but right now this is an easy 7.5 for me.
Nice.
Lance?
7.5.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I really had fun, man. I really enjoyed it. That scene with the cake. the preacher and the
So okay, the musical numbers also were weird choices.
That's what AJ said. She said they picked weird music.
Yeah, like that's
which I kind of liked, man.
Well, I know, but like in the original, you know, they're doing the one
Harry
song,
Belafonte,
and
Banana
you
Boat.
know, it so nails it. You know, it's like it fits so perfectly. It's great.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then they throw this song because it's just because that song was just weird. It was weird and quirky, and it works for the situation.
It's Tim Burton, so
yeah. But then they
probably made a lot of sense to him.
They throw this stupid song in there, and I was like, "Oh, is this scene gonna end?"
It did go on for a while. How'd you like the musical transitions, though? When it would show the scene out in the graveyard where somebody was running toward, that was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool. It's not that they did a bad job; it was just a strange song choice.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And that other cameo was another character who, if he wasn't in the movie, it would have made zero difference. Although I'm glad he was.
Right. Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay, not bad.
So not bad.
Liked it more
no,
than
I didn't.
Did.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I was just a little bit disappointed.
Okay.
Not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Fair enough.
All right. Spoilers.
I was a little bummed. There were neither one of the Maitlands were in here. Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of surprised they weren't.
Well, I think maybe they're just older, or maybe they just didn't want to do it or something. But I mean, they did explain that they found a loophole and that their characters were able to move on,
which is a happy ending for them, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
You know.
But I would at least, can we get Otho in there for some reason? Like he's still hanging around.
Is he still alive?
Right?
That actor?
Seems like he would have shown up.
I don't know.
Seemed like he would have shown up for sure, right? I mean, he can commune with the dead, right? So
yeah. So they say.
You were talking about that scene at the end, Lance, with the cake.
Yeah, I thought that was my favorite part of the movie, Brian. A good musical number, dude. You got me. You had me at musical number. And then it was, I don't know, it was kind of like a throwback to the Banana Boat, like where they, like kind of were being possessed to sing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love their
reaction.
I love their reactions on their faces, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I thought for sure they were really going to get married. And then they had that other kind of flashback, or the dream sequence at the end where she wakes up next to Beetlejuice. And I'm like, is this real? So she really did marry him. And like that other scene was, I don't know, that it was just like Philip said, it was kind of all over the place, right? Like,
well, Jenna Ortega did a great job. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she wasn't, like Brian said, she wasn't a carbon copy of her mom, because I thought she was just gonna be like the goth girl, like Wednesday. But she was obviously, a different character. And the trailer kind of fooled us, right? The trailer rope-a-doped us into thinking she was gonna be, because that scene at the beginning with the preppy girls in the school picking on her and all that. But she didn't believe it. She said, "Oh, that ghost talk is all bullshit, all nonsense," right?
How did you guys feel about Willem Dafoe as Wolf Jackson?
Fucking loved him. Loved him. Philip was right. If he hadn't been in there, it would have been the same exact plot line.
Yeah.
But it was sure fun to see him in there.
I loved his secretary kept bringing him coffee for no damn reason.
Super hot secretary.
And she was.
You're not a detective. You're an actor.
Yes.
Right.
That's exactly where I was going with that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, thanks for bringing me back." I'm surprised Willem Dafoe hasn't been in more Tim Burton stuff. Like, I feel like they fit perfectly together.
Well, he's too busy doing the Yorgos Yamathamas stuff or whatever, that terrible Greek director that I hate. He's in every fucking movie he does.
He's going to be in that Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good casting, I think,
Willem Dafoe's pretty great and everything, though.
Who else? Gotta say it again. Monica Bellucci ages like a fine wine.
Yeah, man. How old is she?
She's in her 60s, I think.
Yeah,
Really?
I think she's about to be 60.
Good night.
So.
Still would,
Yeah.
dude. 100%.
Right?
I did like the effects of when she sucked the souls out of everybody. They would like squeeze, like shrink up into a little meat sack thing.
Yeah, that was very Tim Burton-y.
Then she sucked the soul out of Bob.
Yeah.
Right?
I was rooting for Bob.
I know.
Oh,
I did kind of like those guys. I thought that whole shtick was kind of funny, especially when they get out and start running around the town.
So
Oh,
there was a
yes.
couple unanswered questions. So did they ever go back? Or
Good
were they
point.
just in the town?
We'll never know.
What happened to the people that got sucked into their cell phones?
Also true. That should have been the after credit scene. Like you have one of those random little Bobs running around.
See, I think that cell phone scene was kind of like pointing the mirror back on ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is what you guys are all doing to yourselves. You know, you're getting sucked into it. I don't know. Maybe he didn't mean anything deep by it. Maybe he just thought it looked cool. Who knows?
I like that Justin Theroux ended up being the bad guy because he was such a smarmy little bitch in this movie.
Rory.
The truth serum.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up here. It says Rory was inspired by the Otho character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't really see that, but okay. Sure.
Well, I guess that kind of makes sense. But he
right.
Like the Otho character was obviously a fraud, but he was funny.
Oh, I like that Jenna Ortega character Astrid was onto him when he was at the wake, and he was like, I wrote a poem, and she was like, oh, let's hear it.
Yeah.
And he was like
rolling her eyes.
It's not like I memorized it.
And I didn't mind the kid that she ran into. I thought he did a pretty good job.
Although that storyline was very predictable. Did you guys see it coming as soon as I did, that he's obviously a ghost?
I knew that he was a ghost. I just didn't think he was trying to swap lives with her.
Yeah.
Right. It was kind of a Ghostbusters Frozen Empire storyline, right?
Because I knew when he introduced her to the parents and how they were kind of odd.
Yeah.
Right.
And they wouldn't show their faces. And you're like, oh, they're definitely dead.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought they were alive and they didn't hear him because Sixth Sense type thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know? But
well, then why would they not recognize her or say something about her being in the house?
True.
Yeah.
So I knew there was something up there. I just didn't see that he was murdered his parents and died climbing up a tree, broke his neck.
Beetlejuice got rid of him pretty quick, though, didn't he?
See, that's what they didn't have time to flesh out anything. Like every story was just like
jump from character.
Bam, here's a quick story. Bam, here's another one.
Yeah, like he was on a lot of cocaine or something, right?
Yeah,
he was right.
There's gonna be a sandworm, man. It's coming through the fucking rings of Saturn.
It'll be great.
Let's see. When asked about a potential sequels or a potential third movie, Burton said, let's do the math. It took 35 years to do this one, so I'll be over 100. But I guess it's possible with the advent of science these days, but I don't think so.
Great quote.
They're going to have an AI version of Tim Burton. And as soon as he dies, he'll do another Beetlejuice.
And Johnny Depp, huh?
Yeah. Well, James Earl Jones just died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. But Disney has the rights to his voice.
Yeah, because they used him in one of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah. So, well,
like an AI.
That was the deal he made.
Well, yeah, it is. And I'm sure his family will get money from it. So, but it's kind of weird because he's dead, and they're still gonna throw some AI version of his voice out there.
I know. Creepy.
It is
Skynet stuff, man.
Yeah, we're getting there.
All right, y'all think we covered this movie enough?
Yeah, I think we covered it. Let's see, it's already off of one weekend. His box office 153 million over the weekend.
Well, there you go. Not Marvel or Star Wars numbers, but you know, it's up there.
See, and in Monica Bellucci, I was sort of disappointed in her character because she didn't really do anything.
She did enough for me.
Naked, God damn it.
Why no? She was in the movie for like a total of 5 minutes, and all she did was suck the souls out of some people.
Well,
and then
like there was good.
No real point to it.
Well, we kind of got the origin of Beetlejuice, how he
died.
That
was fun. That was pretty cool. He was talking in Latin or whatever.
Yeah, so it went immediately into subtitles.
Right. Yes, Beetlejuice has been around a while, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, and speaking of being around, we've been around a while. We're creeping up on what episode 433 is that what this one is, Brian? Have we really been around that long?
I don't know.
Only doing this thing every week.
433, yes. Wow. I had to look.
All right.
It's been so many.
Seems like only yesterday we were doing 420, but I digress. So we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. Check us out at thehorrorreturns.com. We love your ideas, your feedback, and your patronage. So thanks a lot. Next week, we're going to watch like a movie that was made a couple of years ago and then already an American remake, Brian. Is that right?
Yep. The original came out in 2022.
Oh, wow.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's right. This one.
All right.
But I am hearing good things about the new one, especially
James McAvoy, dude.
James McAvoy's performance.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with him.
Well, we'll get to compare them side by side next week. So be sure to join us for that. Any guest next week, Brian? I thought we had somebody for some reason, but
I don't know. If you're supposed to be a guest on here, I guess shoot us a reminder.
There you go.
We'll figure it out more then.
All right, man. On that note, I guess, Philip, until the horror returns again.
Good night.